the goal. Oh, he's got it! He's got the goal! What a ripper!
1991 was really used for one objective, was to ascertain the players that we had, whether they were A, committed enough to play at the top level, and B, had the capacities required. So an enormous number of personnel were changed over between when I arrived at the end of 1990 and by the end of 1991, looking to launch ourselves for 92. About 30 odd players who were here in that time had been asked to leave, and by very astute recruiting, we had probably our best year for a decade when we were able to gain players from other clubs, Spalding, Williams, Aythorne, Hogg, those sorts of players who filled very important needs that we had. And we picked up a number of very good young players who appear to have, even in retrospect, a very good future. The Scholes, the McCormicks, Welshes, DeLulios, those kinds of players who came via the draft, and some from other players who were under 19 players there and not kept by those particular clubs. So we probably had as good a year recruiting-wise before the season that this club's had for some time, and we haven't been all that good in that department. I mean, I think that's a bit of a luck of the draw. There's a bit of Russian roulette in the whole thing, but we did particularly well in the draft. So we had an outstanding pre-season. We always divide into a teams competition, and we go away together to Narrabeen in Sydney, which we've been doing for the last couple of years, and it seems to me that's a very good place to prepare and a very good way to prepare, and bringing the guys together for 8 or 9 days, and we work 2 or 3 times a day together in preparation, so that was excellent. So we really arrived, with the exception that the league were obviously going to make it difficult for us to have Williams on board, and that was sad, but in retrospect gave us a chance to blood other players, and our performances early were quite good, even without Greg being able to contribute as an on-field player. But where he was able to contribute was in a very professional sense in our training and preparation. For the first time, I remember players really working hard prior to the session with their specific skills, and that would have been the catalyst for that, I believe, was Greg, who would never come in and not have a ball in his hand and not involve someone else. And players were getting used to the idea, well, if you were standing around, he'd like you to grab you, it might be better to go and work with somebody else and not be made a fool of. So Greg set a standard in a particular area where I think we'd been deficient, and that had quite a remarkable effect on a number of other players. So he was a plus in our preparation without being able to get onto the field.
3 minutes and 30 to play in this first quarter, and the Blues will have to get a move on. Oh, look at the leap. As we see Gleeson come away with the ball to half forward. Good mark to Spalding. They need a couple of these forwards firing. Now he handballs backwards. This is Bradley. A long kick into the forward line. Oliver versus Champion. Here's a chance. Marcus Siri, an open goal. Bang for Carlton's first. Oliver and Bond look on.
Stephen Goff there, the football manager for Carlton.
Now, Brett Ratton. Oh, that's a good little kick in front of goal. I need a mark. And they've got a mark by their captain, Kernahan. A good, strong Stephen Kernahan mark.
And the big hands went up. And that's his strength, Kernahan. One of the great overhead marks that the AFL has seen.
They couldn't get a run at him, could they, Gerard? It was a matter of height and strength. Steve Kernahan kicks and goals.
And the kick to be taken by Fraser Brown. So the wheel's starting to fall off a little bit for the Bears. They just haven't quite regrouped after half-time, and Kernahan is cutting them to ribbons at the moment. So Kernahan kicks for goal. That looks pretty good. And that is a goal. So 3 goals to Steve Kernahan. Carlton well and truly back in business here. 7-6 to 4-12.
Gastev. Now a chance for Hannah. Ashcroft. Now Gastev. He's caught. Bain. Oof. He loses it. Here's a chance for Carlton, because going forward is DeLulio. In towards goal. The kick. Oh, which way did it bounce?
It's a goal.
It's a goal. So Ron DeLulio from Box Hill has kicked a goal, and the Blues fight back. 5-13 plays 9-6.
Lewis and Fraser Brown. Bradley tries to kick it off the ground. And finally it's Brown who spins around, kicks up towards half forward. Silvani in front, couldn't take the mark. Arsiri roves the pack well. Kernahan, mark or free kick.
A little bit soft, Pete, for a shot at goal.
I thought very lucky.
Ball definitely came off Champion's hand, although I think he may have careered further on and just poked Kernahan in the nose a touch.
Well, I thought he deserved the free kick, but anyway,
that's what makes our game great. Everybody has a different opinion.
All these grey areas we speak about. Kernahan for goal number 4. And he's got it. White overruns the ball. Opportunity for Bradley. Bain again gets Colin. Lures. A quick kick, albeit a very short one, and Bond able to drive Carlton up to their half-forward line, and Kernahan again having a real purple patch in this third quarter. Great mark.
Does it look like it hit the ground, that wall?
No, I didn't think so. So Silvani, the opportunity to bring Carlton a little bit closer again. Let's see what happened.
Here we see, we'll have to look closely. Did the ball hit the ground?
Yes.
It did. Yes,
Well,
you're
I
right,
think
Gerard.
it's
Well picked up.
Slipped through to the keeper, and doesn't matter. The umpire's made his decision, and that's all that counts in this game.
Dead right. Once the whistle goes, that's it.
So Steve Silvani, only his 4th kick, can make the difference. 10 points if he's accurate, and he is. Just on 50, doesn't quite get onto it. It's coming around. Oh, Kernahan so near. Oh, that's too high.
Free kick.
Free kick.
Well, what a vital free kick that was. Not so sure whether the
Well,
player
see, he
should
had
get
his
those.
head down, didn't he?
Did have it down going for the ball, so I guess the head must be protected at all times unless you duck into them. Well, he certainly didn't duck into it.
Silvani's second goal. The difference is 6 points.
Oh, we've got a great game now.
Great attempt by McLean.
Oh, Owen's
The
hurt.
crumbs picked up by Hannah. Yes, Owen, you saw in the background there. That's oh gee, that's more bad luck for the Bears. They can't bring anybody on at the moment. Fraser Brown and a few bits of bother there. Dean, good hand pass. Gee, Albin's full of running, isn't he? Who's he picked out here? Not a well-directed kick. DeLulio tackled well by Campbell. Short kick, Arsiri, courage because he copped one earlier. And Mark Arsiri can level the scores. He kicked the first goal of the match, and Robert Walls looks disgusted.
They're exhausted, actually.
And Arsiri, 35 out, kicks, looks good. It's a goal. So Arsiri gets his second goal and scores a level at Carrara.
Gets in a hand pass. Noonan races at his opponent. Onto the left foot goes Athorn towards the halfway line. Kernahan at the back. Champion gets it to ground. Oh, the players desperately trying to get it forward. Here's Gleeson. Now Fraser Brown on the left foot races in the goal. It's a goal to the Blues. So Carlton hit the front by 6 points.
For the first time, Alvin, I tell you what, he's played a magnificent game.
I think all players must be congratulated. This has been a tremendous game, Peter, hasn't it? Players have thrown themselves in.
Full marks to Carlton because they were down and they've fought back hard, haven't they?
I'm sure John Elliott will be pleased. He was talking about the emotion of football. Used that F word a lot on the way up, didn't he?
You've been watching fast forward too much. Kernahan.
This player has turned this game round almost single-handedly for Carlton.
Champion had the better of him well in the first quarter. In fact, I could say in the first half.
Has a chance almost to seal it.
50, right on, kicks it goal, looks good, crowd likes it, full points.
Carlton by 12 points. And they've been full of running. They've got finishing much fresher and they look fitter. Adrian Gleeson in towards goal. Silvani doing the shepherding and it bounces through another one to the Blues. And I think that's shut the gate.
Conditions in round one were very, very demanding. It was very oppressive. It was played at night under lights with a very greasy ball and a greasy ground. It were the sort of conditions that somebody who was really pumped up, Brisbane Bears in their first game there, at the start of the year, maybe not knowing how good or bad they are. Our record there has not been good. We'd really struggled to win and been beaten a number of times when we thought we had better sides than they. So we're pretty apprehensive about the start, and we were absolutely delighted because our kids and we had a multiple number of changes, I think 6 or 7 changes from the previous year. They all did their job. Sticks playing, I think, at full forward for the first time. We're very keen to get him on the last line of attack because we still think he's our most productive goal scorer. Did a terrific job in the wet, and whilst we struggled early, I thought our finish to that game was quite comprehensive, and we'd introduced a couple of new players in the Scholl and the McCormicks who looked like to me that they were going to have the kind of credentials that were necessary to succeed at the top. So to come away with a, I think, reasonably convincing win was a very, very good way for us to start. Most teams would have liked to have travelled and won in those conditions in the way that we did, and I think there was a lot of confidence that came out of that victory.
And Ratton wins out there, gets in the hand pass. Scholl overruns the ball. Anderson went back. Bradley, good play to Asiri. Mark Asiri. Now the one-on-one battle. Langford at the back. Kernahan there also. Collins back up supported. Here's Silvani to Delulio. Kicks a goal. And a good goal to the Blues.
Well, the Hawks have got a fly here at 4, 1-1-2, 25-8. Kernahan given a run on the ball for Carlton. And obviously a Hawthorn player infringing and coming into the square. Kernahan looking for Silvani on a long lead and gets him. Good mark by Silvani.
Thought Carlton might have played a more mobile player on Gary Ayres, but they've elected to go with Silvani. If he puts this through, well, they'll be vindicated.
High drop punt. Kicked it long and strong. Gee, it's a good kick. It's going to make it all right. It's a goal. Silvani kicks his first.
Hannah looking for an option. He had to go back and could be costly. Was David Kernahan again. Oh, he's found Scholl. It was the Hawthorn player. Morrissey slipped over. Now Scholl. Matthew Hogg dodges. Now we'll kick it to the pocket. The leader's on by Cavidan. That's a good lead. And Cavidan is marked 45 metres from goal.
Parkin has stressed that. Last week they went too wide up at Carrara, and today we see them going down the middle.
Andrew Cavidan, the Blues could really do with a goal here as he brings it in. Not a bad looking kick. Did it go to the right or a goal? It's a goal.
Delulio attacks towards Silvani versus Ayres. Here's Silvani. It should sit up. He should score. Stevens sets himself, tries a check side and does it very badly. It was a poor effort by somebody who's so skilled.
Yes, well, I think you described it perfectly, Bruce. He did try the check side, or the banana kick as we sometimes call it, but he got it on the wrong side of the boot and very ordinary in the end.
Well, he didn't really need to. Well played, Bradley. Clever, left foot, across the face. Silvani can make amends, and he does. Got rid of Ayres cleverly and took a very good mark.
Silvani was at the back of the pack, so he had the advantage.
Well, it's the best recipe in sport, isn't it? To be able to instantly bounce back and kick a goal. And he does. Scores a level at Princes Park. To Hannah. Had a good term on Hall in the opening one. To Bradley, who had 8 possessions in the first quarter. Left foot. Silvani. And also Kernahan, who will look for a free kick. Advantage paid, and Silvani kicks his third.
Silvani straight to Greg Deere. Greg Deere can't get his boot to it. Here's a chance for Spalding on the left foot. Off the side of the boot. Collins versus Asiri. Kernahan's there also. Now a chance for Kernahan. Bang into an open goal for a goal.
But the Hawks still with 16 minutes with the breeze at their back. Stephen Kernahan and Langford. Oh, Silvani, an excellent mark. Whilst Kernahan and Langford were having a wrestle, Silvani with a fly at the side. Testing kick for him from 35-40 metres out. He's kicked it strong and long and straight through.
Greg Deere, well, they're both going early. Deere eventually gets it straight to Bradley. Madigan waits. He should have gone at it, Madigan, and allows Silvani in. Asiri an open goal coming up, and Mark Asiri slams it through, and the Blues hit the front.
Now Ratton took a chance, did it well to Hannah. They're growing in confidence, the Blues, spurred on by a big crowd. Centre wing, Bradley and Allen. Bradley had an excellent first quarter. This is what he loves to do, to run. Second bounce, can go all the way. He's a thumping kick. Silvani the target. And Kernahan in the back against the Langford, not paid. Play on, call, a chance for Gleeson. He's goal. The Blues go further ahead. Gleeson's kicked his first. And Carlton on fire at 9-3 to 7-5.
Yes, it's difficult to know which way the umpires are interpreting it. I think they've been a bit lenient on the throw too. I've seen a couple that would certainly have been a throw.
Here's Silvani with a chance versus Madigan. Silvani, goal! Great goal! 5 goals, Steve Silvani. And what a handy one to the Blues.
Bradley calling for it long. Caviden's drop punt. Kernahan gets a run at Langford. That's unusual. Spalding from the side. Well, there's some marking power when you look at Kernahan, Spalding and Silvani on that forward line. Well, can he kick straight, Spalding, from 45 metres out? It's not a bad attempt. It's straight through. 11-6, 7-11.
And that allowed Peter Dean to come in. Asiri, could have been a free kick to Asiri. Aythorne a bad hand pass. Fraser Brown, Hawk players everywhere. Aythorne kicks, but it's a free kick in the meantime going Carlton's way again, and this time it is at half forward Fraser Brown, I feel.
Well, it's danger times here for Hawthorn. Carlton 20 points in front, and they've really got a head of steam up.
Fraser Brown will kick from 50 metres and will bring the rafters down if he kicks this. A beautiful kick. Goal!
Silvani's in the goal square calling for it, run out. Asiri pops it up. Silvani goes against Madigan and beats him again. A brilliant mark. Wonderful bit of play by Silvani.
And importantly, lines up for an easy 6th.
Well, has he snuck it in? He has. 14-9, 9-11. Silvani's kicked 6.
Socket off the ground by Bradley. It's on centre wing. It's tapped on to Bradley. The brilliant Bradley has a bounce. Jarman, shepherded by Kernahan. Langford at the back. Silvani at the front. It's tapped the ground as the players racing after it. Oh, here's a chance for the Blues. A Syrian open goal. Goal! And now it looks like it's very, very hard for Hawthorn. The Blues kick clear as Syrian kicks his second.
Oh, well played, Fraser Brown. Can bang it to Silvani. You back him from here. Well, that's bread and butter for Stephen, isn't it? What a great mark. Silvani for number 7. Goal. From half-back. Weaves his way through. Wobbly kick. Morrissey was his target. Stephen Kernahan. 3 Carlton players. Dean inside to Kernahan. Silvani the target. Great kick. A beauty by Kernahan to Silvani. Well, this man's going to line up for number 8. He hasn't played a bad game. And got it. 17, 12, 11, 15.
For some reason we have a very good record against Hawthorn in times certainly that I've coached here at Carlton. And because they are and still are, I guess, the measuring stick for most clubs, for us to do well in that game was terribly important. We did take them on in what I call one-to-one contests. We did nail most of them in most positions over the ground. And I thought that was one of our very, very good performances in that it convinced us that we weren't just an ordinary, could pump up for a good game every now and then, that we might have had the capacity to be amongst the more competitive teams of the competition. I thought it was a quite comprehensive win. It mightn't have looked so much on the scoreboard, but we played very, very well. Most players played close to their capacity on that day, and we came away going into that bye with a great deal of confidence. I mean, on top of the Brisbane Bears game, the Hawthorn game really cemented what I thought was a very important start for us to get those 2 games under our belt.
Spargo makes a lead. That's ignored by Martin. He's going to go long, and he goes to the outer side. Marking contest out there. Nobody can take it. DeLulio might get a second opportunity here if the ball sits nicely for him. It does. A quick kick, and he goes! First goal to the Blues. 33 plays 17. North Melbourne with 5 different goal scorers now, but they've started the second term well. Gleeson for Carlton overruns it. A chance for the Blues through the agency of Scholl. The ball rebounds up towards half forward. Aythorne should take that tap on. Now at his 4th club, 50 metres out. Aythorne kicks it, goals, and gets it. A quick reply. Craig Bradley from left half-back flank for Carlton. A little bit of a stutter. Now finally kicks up towards the edge of the square. Silvani taps the ball further forward. Chandler and Arsiri tangle. No free kick for that. Silvani again. German. Good tackle. The ball spills free. Silvani once more. Looks for DeLulio. Alvin loves a shot at goal. This time Tom has kicked it through for full points. One of those mongrel bounces. Couldn't do much about it. Carlton ball now through Scholl. On the end of a long hand pass. Kicks into the goal square. Gleeson at the back. He might recover okay. Off the ground. DeLulio for his second. DeLulio, the first player on the ground to kick more than one goal. He kicked the first goal of the match, and Carlton hit back again. 6-4 to 5-5. Gleeson from Bradley was good football. Gleeson again gives away the hand pass. Aythorne kicks down to the centre-half forward position. Tried to find Spalding. Here's Arsiri with a snapshot directly in front and bounces it through. Scores level. Hannah. On to Alvin. Alvin from midfield. Kicks across the ground. Marking contest out there. Meldrum tries to flick the ball out to Arsiri, who finally gets it to Spalding. Spalding's hand pass effective. That was DeLulio kicking it goal. He might have got another one. He has.
Now it's Scholl. He goes to ground. Allison went without it, and they're giving it away far too easily up in their forward line, North. Aiken with the centre of the ground. DeLulio takes the mark.
19 points the difference. DeLulio a live wire on the forward line with 3 goals. Martin up. There's a push out, says the umpire. And Martin has a few words to say. Can you lip read?
Well, if you feel a bit of contact in your back, of course you've got to push yourself forward.
Come on.
Steve Kernahan kicks it goal and gets it. His second goal, and Carlton go further ahead, 10-6 to 6-5. Meldrum looks for space at midfield and finds it. Still a chance for Carlton to score in this quarter, and it's a good mark. Take it inside the square by Tarks, and as I said, he's just come on. He'll have to be quick. Unloads, long at goal. Kernahan can't take it. Scholl, and the kick is taken for Carlton by Alvin, and he's got it. This has been the scoring end. Gallagher in front, out to Chandler, who's still tagging Bradley. Bradley comes up with the football, gets it to Meldrum. That's about as far as they're going. Snapshot by Tarkson. He's got it. It's a point the difference. Is that a push out? The umpire says no. Ross Smith again with a quick kick, and it'll see Gleeson send it back.
Half forward for North Melbourne. A lot of courage shown here. Tommy Alvin on the left foot. Hooks a goal and slams it through for a great goal.
3 goals to Alvin.
A great goal to Alvin. Gives Carlton a vital lead. North Melbourne need the next goal. Here's Spargo. A quick kick to the half-forward line. Oh, courage shown. And that was by Adrian Gleeson.
Ramiro off, replaced by Anthony Dwyer.
And Peter, I'd be thinking of putting perhaps Wayne Carey on the ball at this stage. He has been held down in the forward line, and it'd be worth a try.
2 Carlton players race at it. DeLulio has the front position. Scholl in hot pursuit. DeLulio quick. Meldrum applies a good shepherd. Alvin again. He's made it number 4. Play on, says umpire Sheehan. And Brown. And the chips into space.
And the Carlton team, a very fit one, appearing to outrun North Melbourne in this last quarter.
Martin punches clear, only to see Gleeson on the end of it. Gleeson around the boundary line, could goal from there, inside 50. That looks pretty good. The Blues are just about home.
North Melbourne have caused this club quite a deal of trouble because they are quick, very athletic, which is obviously one of our deficiencies, and had a terrific record at night under the lights at the MCG. What we weren't looking forward to it, but we certainly came into that game with the kind of confidence you'd want, and I thought we just stuck at it. I don't think we blitzed them at any stage, but didn't look like we were going to lose the game either. the Swans game was one of two games, in retrospect, when the season over, that cost us dearly. They cost us the opportunity, quite frankly, of playing in the finals in 1992. Whether people think we should have been there or not, there are only two games, and one of them was that. They finished in the bottom three, I think, lost 15 games in a row. We had the better players and we had a better team plan, and yet the Swans were able to not just beat us, they beat 21 point, was a quite convincing win. I don't think at any stage we looked real winners in that game. I was bitterly disappointed at the time. I really was. That was one of the biggest disappointments that I think we had this year, when we nowhere near played to our obvious potential. And it should never have happened after three good comprehensive wins against teams that were far better than the Swans. And that's not taking anything away from the Swans at all, but their history following that was a disaster, and they should never have been allowed to win here on our home ground in the manner which they did. And as we predicted then, it was going to be costly, and it certainly was. In the wash-up when the season was over, it was one of the two games which did hurt us dreadfully.
Might have got a hand to that again, knocking defensively. Bowie comes to Gleeson. His kick up towards the 50-metre line. Arsiri held out by DePetta, then tackled by Arsiri. Madden did well. Bradley gets the hand pass up from Spalding from 35 metres. Earl Spalding.
St Kilda by 11. Fletcher, Brown tackle. Alvin misses it. Tarzan, been an important player since coming onto the ground. Halfway through the first quarter. Oh, nearly a Carlton mark to Kerr.
Oh, he threw that. Taps
it on. Arsiri shares it with Brown. Brown may get the goal. He does. Lovely lifted kick. Aythorne just forward of half-back. Kicks towards centre-half forward. Ball carries. Chance for Arsiri. Picked up by Brown. It may bounce. No. Good play by Shanahan. Tackle by DeUlio on Grant. Chance for Cavadon. Back to Kernahan. Kernahan snapshot. Looks pretty good. Stephen Kernahan gets his first goal. Carlton get their fifth. They trail by 11 points.
DeUlio gets the hand pass up to Arsiri. Good pick up.
Oh, well
pushed
done,
right in the middle of the back. Free kick. Carlton play on quickly with it. Kernahan.
Now you could see that as the ball was in flight. Kernahan, although he was behind, was still in the plump position. To use his body, he nudged Morris out.
Kernahan's kick 1 goal 1. Saints lead by 22 points. And they now lead by 16. Here's Bradley out of the middle. Tarkson. Carlton moving it well. Gleeson. Kick too high, but it might favour Arsiri. 25 metres out, he goes. Just under a minute and a half to go to half-time. Cavadon up early, got it to the second attempt. Tarkson did well. Inside half-forward, Arsiri. DePetta with him. Arsiri taps back, clever. Ratton, O'Sullivan. Aims at the goal and kicks a beauty.
Kick out towards half-back. Chance for Carlton. Arsiri went for the hand pass, then the kick up towards full forward. Still there, Aitken. Carlton fans appealing for the free kick. Morris dispossessed. Kick off the ground by Aitken. It'll roll through for goal. In goes Shanahan. Fletcher there. Scholl tries to spin out of trouble. Still close to the boundary line. Arsiri gives it away. O'Sullivan. Shot for goal is a crackerjack goal. Oh, was he pumped up?
Carlton into attack again, and a chance to get closer. It's tapped forward by Cavadon. DeUlio right in front, kicks it. Two minutes remaining to three-quarter time. One straight kick the difference. Carlton have added 4-2 to 1-2 in this quarter. Bradley flicks the ball out the back. Somehow gets it to Aythorne. On the run, O'Sullivan. He hauls it in brilliantly and goes for the goal. And the scores are level.
What inspiring stuff for his third goal, O'Sullivan.
Scores level in the last minute and a half of the third quarter. Hannah can't quite mark. Sexton does well. He has fought back after being thrashed by Lockett. The ball at centre half forward. Grant, good stuff, good pressure. Aitken. O'Sullivan, has he kicked 4? He has kicked 4 goals. And more importantly, he's put the Blues in front. Tries to tap it to his advantage. In goes Brown. Determination. He's caught with the football. Fode. Little hand pass. Ratton pressure. Bradley kick off the ground. Ball comes wide to the wing. Chance for Cavadon. Very skilled young player. Has a good look. Kicks it in the Kernahan direction. And he nearly got it. Aitken. Can he kick a goal? He shrugs the tackle. And he kicks it. And he's dobbed it. It's another Carlton goal.
Well, he's only kicked 9 goals in his career. Prior to today, he's kicked 2 in the third quarter.
Been a top possession winner, but he loses it to Harvey. Harvey goes long. Lockett's been out of it for a quarter and a bit. Not this time either. Winmar again. Another goal. The Saints in front.
Back towards the wing. O'Sullivan gets the lovely little hand pass to Bradley. Bradley wider still. Kernahan's got 3 or 4 metres on Morris. Handballs to himself. Goes on. The bounce was very kind.
Oh, don't
and
tell
he
me.
kicked a miracle goal.
Oh.
Well, arrogance by Stephen Kernahan in the right forward pocket. And it all came off for the captain.
Tarkson high. Good pick-up, Bradley. Hand pass delightful. O'Sullivan back to Bradley. High kick. Kernahan a chance here. No mark. At the front, the hand pass couldn't
free
come
kick.
clear. It comes to Brown. He flashes a hand pass through to Diulio. He goes! And Carlton back in front. He's taken out of it by Spalding. Aythorne. Brown unmarked at centre wing.
And he runs away, Fraser Brown, coming up for his 17th kick. Not too bad. In towards half forward, nearly a miraculous mark to Scholl. Away to Ratton. Ratton slips away from Fletcher and kicks it into the forward line where Diulio has marked inside 50 metres.
Well, he's certainly come into the game in the critical stages. Diulio been on and off the bench today.
And you really can't criticise specifics, but one wonders whether Eldo De Petta is a back pocket player or half-back flanker. Diulio, shot for goal is home. 3 goals to Ron Diulio. And he must think that Christmas has come early.
Steers the pass for Lockett. Hasn't had a touch in the second half. Is that interference by Dorotic? No. Nothing doing. Time's run out. The Blues have won it.
Oh, now that...
Yeah, I thought, like a lot of other people at St Kilda, and it has been proven, I suppose, that they would be a finals contender, in a real sense, a premiership contender, because they had the capacity up forward to hurt most sides. We, in fact, ended up playing St Kilda 3 times during the year. We played them in the final practice match in Tasmania and 2 other times. And I think coming off that final practice match, we got behind about 5 or 6 times, and we came back and did them well in Tasmania. And I was always confident if we were round about that we'd be able to repeat the dose in this particular game. We played good footy, not so much in the first half, we just kept at it. But like the latter round against St Kilda, we were able to produce some really outstanding team football and kick a number of goals quickly against them. And I think at that stage, Ronnie Diulio was doing extremely well for us as a half-forward flanker and a goal kicker. And it's a bit sad that a first-year player who should be doing a long apprenticeship and mainly doing that in the reserve level, who was forced into the side, we were relying on him almost exclusively to kick our crumbing goals. And our deficiency at that stage wasn't quite as obvious as it became later on in the year. We were kicking goals through the Kernahans and through the Sylvanans, and then the arrival of young Rowan Welsh, who started to catch the ball very well and is a very productive goal scorer. Beautiful kick, long kick and accurate kick. Means that we're getting our 10 or 12 through our tools in most weeks, but we're never going to kick 15 or maybe 20 goals unless we're going to get a similar number. And it seems tragedy that we can have the ball kicked to Kernahan as often as it is. When he doesn't mark it, the opposition don't mark it, they knock it away, that we can't be kicking twice. If he's kicking 80 in a season, we should be kicking 160 off our crumbs. And that hasn't happened. And it became obviously even early in the season that unless our mobile, taller Spaldings, Dorotiches, Kernahan, Silvani, Welsh-type players weren't going to take marks and kick goals, then we were going to struggle to kick enough to beat the better sides on good days. That was a demoralising loss. In fact, it was the only, and why I guess I've pumped Footscray as being a premiership contender, because they were the only team who comprehensively took us apart on one day. We got there in very good form. We were, I think, equal top on the ladder and maybe fighting out for top spot uniquely by beating Footscray. Perfect conditions at the MCG. We had the game changed on our agreement from Western Over, where we've been pretty ordinary performers, and we got the game to the MCG in a finals atmosphere, a lot of people there. And we went in with a great deal of confidence and had the absolute stuffing knocked out of us. We hardly had a winner over the ground, a young Brownie who was very good all the year. I remember playing very well on the wing that day. But we struggled to get into it and make it a contest, and we were comprehensively beaten in every facet of footy. And really that brought us back to earth with a thump, because we really thought we might have gone under, but we were quite sure that we were going to be able to compete on a fairly even basis, and that didn't happen. The remarkable thing, of course, was the events of the following few days, which proved me wrong very much as a coach, I suppose, as we look forward to the centenary game against Collingwood a few days later.
It's 50 metres from goal. Short pass, pretty good too. Kernahan, good lead. It's not a mark, it's a free kick. 35 metres out. The angle not all that difficult. Certainly will get the distance. Good looking kick. It's straight through the centre.
Well, it's Collingwood 2 goals, 5-17 to Carlton 1 goal, 3-9.
Don't give them the scores until they get them in future.
Okay, thank you. We see Kernahan with the ball now. He's only about 35 metres out from goal, directly in front. And Kernahan, usually a very accurate kick for goal. And a lot relying on this guy tonight, because he's the skipper, the inspiration of the side. Now let's see whether he can kick this goal or not. Directly in front.
Will he put it through, Lou?
Well, he's a very good kick, but sometimes he misses the easy one. Let's see what he does with this one, Ted. There it is on the way. Yes. And the umpire doesn't move. It's a goal to Carlton.
As we see, Matthew Hogg gives it across to Gleeson, who's had a very good game. Greg Williams showing his class, Williams. Plenty of time. Back to Matthew Hogg. In towards full forward, Silvani has dropped the mark. He's got back up support. He goes to get it himself. Stephen Silvani around the corner. It bounces in towards goal. Spalding, goal to Carlton. Good play by the Blues. And Carlton hit the front 3-3 to 2-6.
Collingwood 2-6, Carlton a 3-3. The Blues lead by 3 points. Here's Mike Williamson.
And the Blues into attack once again, and Kernahan has taken the mark.
I like his preparation when he's having a shot for goal. Body well over the football.
Slight angle, the ball's on its way. Oh, it didn't come off the boot too handsomely, but it got there, and it's another goal. 3 to Kernahan.
It's a mongrel old kick, wasn't it?
Well, it didn't deserve a goal, but it's there. That's what counts. The score's on the ball.
Hogg swings that ball into the centre, yes, up towards centre half forward, and again we find Aitken there. Back to Hogg, another hand pass, and we find Athorn driving forward. Up goes Kernahan, and he marks.
And the difference only 2 points. This will be a danger goal if he gets this for Collingwood. There it is on its way, and there's no doubt about that. It's right through the middle for a goal.
Hannah again comes over the top, but straight down to Russell. His kick is smothered. Alban has a chance to clear for the Blues. Tom Alban to half forward. Coverton got fingers, but doing it from behind. Monkhorst lost it. Bradley chips into Brown. Here's danger for Collingwood. Brown sets sail for home, and there's another one for the Blues. Fraser Brown gets his first. Carlton a 7-4, Collingwood a 4-8.
Tap on by Turner. Dorotic crashes his way through. This is an effective kick now to full forward Kernahan. It clean bowls him. He's being held by Gary Pert. So Kernahan will take the free kick and Gary Pert not happy. Well, Kernahan has the football. Collingwood may suffer the ultimate penalty here. Kernahan's kick looks pretty good. It's another goal to the captain. Stephen Kernahan has now kicked 5, and 5 out of 8 is a workmanlike performance in anyone's language. 8-6 plays 5-12.
Taken there by Fraser Brown. Short one in towards Williams, and it comes off. Williams plays it immediately. Here's a go, Silvani! But you can see what's going on. Carlton are putting the pressure on and playing the better football, and Silvani puts it right through for another one to the Blues.
Pushes back towards Gleeson on the wing. Oh, he's got Williams loose. And he kicks beautifully. His delivery is a delight to watch. Kernahan, perhaps too far out to score, but he's going long. 55 metres. It's very, very long. And there is the quick reply. Take that, says Steve Kernahan, as he pumps through his 6th. Manson charges. He wins it, but it's taken by Bradley, only as far as Morwood, who went off. And Spalding will take advantage of this. This could well be another one. Diulio loses it, regains it, steadies, should goal from 25 metres, and misses. Now he's got it. First goal to Ron Diulio, and a telling one. Kernahan, also a fit of the fumbles, eventually sneaks it out the back door. Tarkson pumps it towards the 50-metre line. Spalding giving chase. With him is Pert. Spalding does get rid of the football. Towards Brown. Picks it up beautifully. Centering kick. No mark taken. And a tackle's too high. And Carlton have a chance to stretch their lead because Ron Diulio got one high. But Diulio will shoot directly in front. This could well be the first nail in the Collingwood coffin. He's kicked it. And he's not impressed. Carlton surge further ahead. 13-8 to 7-14.
But no Collingwood forwards there, picked up by Dorotic. Over it goes to Sexton. Back in the centre, marked by Brown, who's played a pretty good game tonight. The ball shot out wide. And there's Silvani coming well out from that full forward position. He's out there nearly on the wing. As the ball goes to Kernahan, he's got the mark. And what a game this guy's played tonight. I think he's kicked 6 goals for tonight.
Right, Louis.
And he's been the inspiration to the team.
Well, 45 metres out. On an angle, kicking from the outer side, a Southern Stand side. It's on its way. It looks good off the boot, yes. That's his 7th. His 7th. And Carlton move along to 14-9. That will be 93 to Collingwood. 8-16-64 and in trouble.
Bradley locked up getting kicks as usual. Carlton have had winners all over the ground tonight. Diulio stabbing in towards Silvani. Silvani kicked 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and now has 1 in the 4th.
It's only tonight, Peter, and perhaps the problem comes around midfield, the way they deliver the ball, because they haven't had that problem in previous games.
They really haven't.
Multiple goals.
They haven't got key forwards, Don, and that's a big problem. Here's Spalding. He's still getting around the Collingwood players. Earl Spalding by 40 metres. What a great goal! Earl Spalding has kicked his 2nd, and what a tremendous effort. 16-9. Collingwood, they remain on
9-18. The game was a very, very even contest. The scoreboard didn't indicate at any stage the closeness of that contest. But I still think over the day, the night it was, we were the better team, We won in more positions, and we certainly converted our opportunities better than they did. They could have been in, had players who normally would have kicked them, but they didn't. And we were able to come away with what appeared to be, scoreboard-wise, a convincing victory. It was a very strong performance, and it was one that merited probably a 1 or 2 goal victory to Carlton. But to come after the demoralising loss against Footscray, 4 days before, in a game that meant so much, I was particularly proud of the players on that night.
Getting plenty of advice down that end. All very helpful as he boots it towards the outer side. Williams has got it. Lays it off. This is Spalding close to the boundary line towards the kick-off line. Silvani is up. Good mark.
Run to it with confidence because nobody in front of him.
Should get this. Silvani puts it through. This is Brown. Fraser Brown outside the 50. Silvani chipping in front. Hines did well. Down goes Hogg. Emerging with it, Silvani. Open goal. He puts it through.
Kavanagh really doesn't handle that ball cleanly. Early on this quarter, he just juggled a couple of marks and he dropped a high mark and really didn't handle it properly on that occasion.
Hines was held. De Julio, well done. Snaps, great goal. He's been a fine. Ron De Julio.
Has Brown inside, takes his time, then kicks it to Williams and Spalding. Spalding getting rid of Hepburn. Williams takes the mark. Silvani in the goal square. McIntosh with him. And free kick going to Silvani. McIntosh hanging on.
Now there's one umpire and that's Hayden Kennedy. There he's on screen. He's prepared to pay those.
Silvani goes for his third. And the Blues first for the term. They've had to wait a long time. And the drop punt looks good.
Silvani has 3 goals. And the margin is 6 points. Centre square infringement. Or was it holding at the base of the pack? I think against Turley, hanging on to Ratton.
See, it's Hayden Kennedy again giving the free kick.
Ratton for Silvani. He marks on his chest. Checking at his 4th. To level the scores. Good looking attempt. It's a goal.
Goes to half-back. Jakovic the target. Well played, Aitken at the back. Kemp and Spalding. A hip and shoulder by Williams. Excellent. O'Sullivan inside to Alvin, who should goal. Drop punt goes for the Blues in front. Alvin kicks his first. And Carlton are at 7-8 to 6-10. Matera with him. Gee, dodge. It's froze. Must have felt Matera coming. Now Williams around Lamb. Bang. Towards centre-half forward to Kavanagh. Good stretch at the back. De Julio. Silvani got great mark.
What a kick.
Well, Worsfold was doing everything possible and Silvani still able to go for 6 and he does it. 6 for Silvani. The Blues back in front by a point.
Bradley left without it. Ratton out of the congestion. Jakovic in front, knocks it away. Aitken, still he goes. Aitken to Brown. Brown threads his way through, 20 metres out, point blank range, gets it.
Spalding and Kernahan will be a couple of options. Now towards Kernahan with Jakovic, a real wrestle match. Kernahan recovered best. Spalding, well taken big man, shrugs one tackle, gets a handball away, still in play. Silvani will go, he does. 7 for Silvani, and suddenly we're back in touch at 74 to 78. Ugle tries to crash his way through, still Ugle clever to Sumic. Sumic to go for goal number 6. The drop punt, he leans back on it, he's kicked it straight. And Sumic also signals that West Coast are looking good. 14-15 to 11-16.
Whilst we were disappointed at losing, we thought we were very competitive against them, and that sort of underlined the fact that we were in amongst it, that we were capable of maybe of achieving a place in the final 5 despite, or final 6 despite having gone under to them at Princes Park.
Punched forward by Ridley, picked off by Hogg. Hogg's kick should be marked and is marked very, very well indeed by Spalding in front of Harvey. He plays on, kicks towards full forward. Rhys Jones, yes! Oh, what a spectacular mark taken by David Rhys Jones, only 30 metres from goal.
Well, a hallmark of Rhys Jones' game is the fact that he seems to have a ton of time to do with the ball whatever he wants, and on that occasion he made that mark look easy.
Shoots for goal, and there's no doubt it's a goal to Blues.
Kernahan over the top of Danaher. Ball spills free. Shaw looking for a free kick. Umpire says no. Williams, DiIulio, he'll shoot at goal. Wait on the umpire. All clear.
What pace shown by DiIulio. Started from 3 metres behind, got to the front and forced the ball into the position to where it is at the moment. In front of the goals. Kilpatrick, DiIulio off the ground. Oh, Kernahan will kick it anyway. Left foot snap is good. First goal there for Stephen Kernahan, and Carlton 4-1, lead Essendon 1-1. Rhys Jones, no he can't mark, and he slips over, and by gee is it critical. The Bombers rebound. Kilpatrick's kick to right half forward.
Oh, free.
Elvin marks it anyway. A kick off the ground, goes about 30 metres towards the Carlton goal. Thompson's caught by DiIulio, and he's being penalised when maybe, just maybe, the umpire could have let that go. DiIulio up towards full foot. Kernahan! Oh, he's got to run at it. You can't stop that man then.
Well, the last goal came at the 22nd minute of the first quarter. That was kicked by Simon Madden. So have we got a goal here?
Yes, he kicks this one, Stephen Kernahan.
Can Carlton get another one? Can Essendon get the reply? Hacked out of the pack to Spalding from Bradley. It must have just gone the required distance. Scholl on a lead and marks.
Well, he's no closer, really.
No, not really. And the angle probably isn't... it's fair. It's a fair angle, more than 45 degrees.
Far more acute.
Probably about 60. Oh, Kernahan kicking for his 3rd goal and the 2nd for the 2nd term. Carlton led by 9 points at the change. And swerving around for a goal. 3 goals to Kernahan and 2 goals coming up from the Carlton Star in a couple of minutes. 6-2 to 2-9.
Ratton 9 and 5. Here's a chance for O'Sullivan. He kicks it high from the back. Oh, a high jump there was from Bradley. O'Sullivan. Oh, he was at it and at it. DiIulio. O'Sullivan again. He's kicked the goal.
Great hand pass.
No, he hasn't. He's missed.
DiIulio on the ground. I think it was that got it out to him, Robbo. An excellent hand pass. O'Sullivan. Excellent smother by Denham, but he's got a second go again, O'Sullivan. Backs up well. Rhys Jones. Statuesque in front. Can't take the mark. Kick it. In trouble. Well tackled by the Hyphen, who comes out with the football. Will he give it to Williams? No. Athorn. DiIulio. Right foot snap. And gets the goal.
And give it to Rhys Jones.
Terry Danaher. Justin Madden hits the deck. He might get a free kick for Carlton. The advantage is paid. Ratton takes advantage of it. Finds a man. Hannah, who was spoken to by the runner a short time back, so he's well upfield. Looks for Kernahan, finds him in front of Alessio 50 metres out from goal.
Simon Madden's gone off the ground too, and he's been replaced by Wallace at full forward.
A goal here by Kernahan, which would be his 5th if he's to get it, would make Essendon's task pretty difficult. Especially as they've only kicked 4 goals, 18 so far to 10-3.
I'd like to have the same chance of winning Tats Lotto as Kernahan has got of kicking his 5th goal.
A few million to 1. He'd like the result. Final quarter from Princes Park, and Carlton, it would appear, holding a match-winning lead of 34 points, restricting Essendon to 2 goals since quarter time. Bombers certainly have had a forward line in disarray today. Kick up by Ratton towards full forward. Kernahan, he could make it another one here at the start of the final quarter, and he has done. And that's just what Kevin Sheedy didn't want.
Nearly marked by Hills, but brilliantly done by Williams. Away to Bond. Further forward, Bradley will nearly get a goal here. Casually goes Craig Bradley, And he smacks it straight through the centre. Near the centre. Awkward bounce. Still awkward, but well controlled by Bond. Hand pass into the path of Bradley. Goes to Welsh. Welsh from 50 metres. Rowan Welsh has kicked the goal of the day.
Set up beautifully again by Craig Bradley with a lightning fast hand pass, wasn't it? Dorotich on the burst, up from full back. Solid game from John Dorotich. DiUlio into full forward. Reece Jones has the set. Hasn't got the mark. He plays on and gets it. The Hyphen makes it through. And they love him. And the death throes of this match, Sexton marks it right half back.
And kicks with the left, finds Spalding. Spalding sweeping run, gets past Harvey, and then kicks it up towards full forward. No mark taken, it's punched back. Little kick off the ground, Reece Jones, Kernahan, can he get his 7th goal? He's got it, he's kicked it. Miraculous stuff by the captain.
He's topped the goal kicking at Princes Park, captain, best and fairest, Madden, who has played particularly well in the ruck today, no doubt about that. Got the better of his brother. Kick out of the pack towards full forward, almost a mark. That's Welsh again. Reece Jones off the ground.
Oh, he's got it! He's got the goal!
We are troubled most times by Essendon, so to get a result, we worked very hard. I think Essendon were much superior to us in the first half and didn't get a result on the board, and we were able to hurt them dreadfully in the second half, played great footy because they demoralised themselves by not converting what they should have. And I think our second half against Essendon was as good a football as we've played this year, and we would get enormous confidence knowing that Essendon, despite the fact that many had written them off, I still think they're one of the most competitive teams. They've got a great blend of youth and experience and some clear match winner type players that were able to counter those. It confirmed Stephen Kernahan's great confidence and goal kicking ability, which had come to the fore by about this stage in the season, that we had now had a bona fide forward. He might kick us 100 goals. Young Rowan Welsh was filling in very well, with Stephen Silvani struggling as he did from this point on with his ankle to get him right so that we could use him up. There were some very good indicators, I think, from that Essendon game that we were playing what we call one-on-one footy. We certainly were well aware that our speed over the ground was a problem to us. We weren't crumbing as well in and under for the same reason. We didn't have players, with the exception maybe Mil Hanna, who could run the lines, tuck it under the arm and really open things up for us. So we're getting ourselves into a very much a one-on-one contest basis, where as long as we can nail them and get them into reasonably close contesting area, that if we weren't allowing sides to run off and do their own thing, we're always going to be in trouble if we did, because we just didn't have the leg speed to keep with them. And most of the players were committing to that, even players who maybe don't really want to. Mil Hanna's a classical example, who's become just a wonderful competitor. We were giving him the best forward in the opposition every week, and Mil was playing them shoulder to shoulder and marking over them, knocking away and running off them, but not just nicking off and doing his own thing, really aware of his opponent. And if Mil was prepared to do that and play that way, it was a terrific example, a terrific leadership role for the rest of the team. And we were starting to think that way. The mentality here was, well, if we can get them into fair income contesting type situations, and this team had a lot to offer. And I think about this stage against Essendon, we were starting to be convinced that our game plan for this current group of players in this particular season had to be along those lines. And I think it was a very important victory for us against Essendon, just cementing that particular fact. We found Melbourne hard. They played tight and hard and tough, and they were good at what we were thinking we were good at, which is the in and under and the competitive stuff. And that was a very good win for us at Waverley. And with our better players, Dorotich now in great form, playing at centre half back and being able to move him forward to kick goals when we needed. Spalding cementing the fact that he was a reject that has been a wonderful pickup for this football club, playing in the most difficult spot at centre half forward and contributing well every week. Brown at this stage, I think, starting to look as though he'd taken a bigger step than we thought. Not just a bona fide elite football, but a very good league footballer. And as the season progressed, he got better and better and beat most. So things were starting. There were indicators there that we were, more than competitive. Maybe we had a chance of making something pretty good out of the 1992 season. But the week to follow, because like most, we thought Geelong had the greatest talent. We weren't sure whether their game plan was one that was going to win them premierships, because they were fairly much offensive in nature. So we again arrived at the MCG was a Sunday game in pretty good shape, mentally very good shape, good confidence, and very keen to get on job, so that we had taken a big step forward, and we were in for a pretty rude shock.
The crowd roars. Umpires Michael Abbott and Shane Harris in charge, and we get underway. Burke, nice to see him back. He wins the tap, but it's grabbed by Williams. Greg Williams drives the Blues into attack. Kernahan from behind. Big leap. Handley hands the ball, and Handley comes out with it. The hand pass a little bit untidy. Hinkley buffeted off it. Malakillis didn't see the tackler coming. The ball spills, and it's a step for goal by Spalding, and a goal.
Andrew Wills on the left foot to half forward, back with the flight. It's thumped away. Oh, the Geelong player went without it. That wasn't good play. Athorn, beautiful pass. Bradley's loose again. Into the pocket, Kernahan. And Kernahan is marked, but not good play back here in the centre. Well, a slippery ball. It won't be as easy as it looks. We're right behind Stephen Kernahan. 45-degree angle, 30-metre kick, but a great kick. Goal. Steve Kernahan kicks his first. The Blues come back. And on the scoreboard, Carlton trail by 4 points.
Oh, this is a good mark. Playing in front, Sexton beats Brownless to it. Brownless shepherded off beautifully by Spalding. The kick to the forward line. Silvani comes to Kernahan. 45 metres out. Great step. Just made it. And the Blues have hit the front. Playing his 4th AFL game. Led the goal kickers last year for Dandenong. Well, McGrath taps, but not far enough.
It's out in the full.
Yes, free kick into play for the Blues, and Silvani will take it.
That is a top shot, isn't it? You'll run out to the right for sure, Drew, I reckon. There's the kick. Oh, great kick. Silvani, goal.
The centre line players have been thrashed as Damien Burke has taken over in the ruck.
Well, can the Blues salvage this quarter with a goal in the last minute? Athorn. Cats there in numbers. Oh, Merriman went backwards. Chance for Bond, and he's kicked one. Well, Chris Bond, who came off the bench halfway through this quarter, gets the Blues' only goal for the term.
Not sure what was paid there, Drew. I didn't think he controlled that ball long enough if it was paid as a mark.
Brendan Parker making his debut, and what a great kick to Kernahan. Coming up for his 6th kick, looking for his 3rd goal, Kernahan. And desperately needed by the Blues. When they needed him against Collingwood, he delivered in that big game in front of 80,000 at night. Kernahan from 50 metres, right through the middle. Spalding played cricket for Western Australia. His teammate here today, Craig Bradley, played cricket for South Australia. Kicked by Spalding, a high ball. Kernahan at the back. There's Bradley in after it. Kernahan out to Alvin. The defender for goal has kicked one. Well, it's coming back.
Free kick. Bradley free kick.
Bradley to take the free kick.
Coming up for his 20th disposal. And a much-needed goal for the Blues. Bradley right in front. And he's kicked it. So, Carlton have kicked the last 2 and trail by 20 points.
Even though it's rained pretty heavily, the ground's still hard underfoot.
Greg Williams from 50 metres trying to bring it back to the torpedo. The flyer, Silvani, a good mark. Very good mark with the wet ball.
Geez, unbelievable the way he took that marks too, Silvani. Very greasy, heavy ball. He just plucked it out of the air pretty casually. An awkward kick from Williams too. An attempted spiral. And look at the way he took that. That is a magnificent grab.
His first mark.
Now, it looks easy, but it's not. He's only kicking from 10 metres. Cute angle. Kicks. And Steve Silvani has goal.
26 of those 28 hit-outs to Damien Burke. Here's Williams. Bond to Ratton. High ball. Time running out. 25 seconds left. Off Kernahan's chest. Alvin keeps it going forward. Handley goes back with the hand pass. You're in heaps of bother there. A soccer off the ground is a goal. Stephen Kernahan. Williams, an outstanding first quarter where he had 10 possessions, but that's just his 20th, and we're deep into the last quarter, so he's gone out of it since a great start. Off the ground, Dean. Silvani, a bit of a chance. A toe poke at it. Off the ground, Bond. A goal to Bond. Kick in by Handley. And over the top, an excellent mark. First gamer. Well done to Parker. Won the best and fairest in the Goulburn Valley League last year. Playing his first league game here. Silvani can't take the mark. Off the ground, Gleeson attempts one. Kernahan on the edge of the square. Kicks a goal. Fifth goal to Steve Kernahan, and the margin 20 points.
Here's a chance for Carlton to take it forward. That was by Ratton, and the mark has been taken by Rowan Welsh.
He's taken 7 marks and spent some time on the bench.
Look at this booming torpedo punt, a magnificent goal by Welsh. Thumped on for Carlton as they race in after it. Now that was Parker, loses it in the bump. Kernahan to Ratton. Brett Ratton, left foot, chip pass. He found the mark, Matthew Hogg. Well, here he is, directly in front from 45 metres. The drop punt, not a bad-looking kick. Was that touched? I don't think so. Goal.
When we were sitting in the coach's box that day, and the game was nip and tuck at the start, as they often are, in very difficult conditions at the MCG that day, didn't really help. Our great strength is being able to catch the ball up forward, and with the efforts of Stephen on that day, Kernahan was just great on that day. He did catch it, but not many others did. But I can remember distinctly Ablett grabbing the ball, and he was opposed to Hannah, who'd been, as I suggested, our most consistent player. The only person who had brought Mill undone for the year, in my opinion, was Ablett on that day. But I saw him grab the ball on the wing and run with his speed, with Hannah not being able to get to him, have a bounce of the ball outside 50 and let it fly, and it went through post high. And I thought, well, maybe we might be in for a difficult day today. And as it turned out, we played very ordinary football. The scoreboard was flattering, in my opinion. We were beaten almost as comprehensively on that day as we were against Footscray. And that probably disturbed us in the same way as Footscray did, because we were beaten so comprehensively by a team that was acknowledged as probably the leader in the field, and along with West Coast had sufficient talent to take the flag. So, yeah, I was pretty disappointed after the Geelong game, but we made the excuse, we should make excuses of the weather not really assisting our strengths, and that we hope we got another chance to get at Geelong in somewhat different conditions. So that was a real important loss, but you can always say, well, it is against the best that the competition can provide, so probably it's not taken as such a down, so demoralising a loss as it might have been if it was against someone with lesser stature than Geelong.
Well, probably the best mark in the AFL. Kernahan pulls down a big one, and it's an excellent kick by young Brendan Parker, boy from Tongala, the Goulburn Valley League. Well, that's an excellent kick and a good goal. Ball back in the centre. Once again, Kavanagh with the tap, doing well in the middle. De Ulio flicks it out to Gleeson. Gleeson with a smart tap to Alvin, who fumbles what he should have taken. Ben Hart comes through, but goes the man instead of the ball. Off the ground is Alvin. Gleeson with a quick handball, finds Bond, and in walks Williams. And goals.
Adelaide by 5 points at Princes Park. Kernahan in the ruck wins it. Gleeson cleverly. Cavidan on a long lead. With him is Smart over the top of both. D'Ulio with his pace. Oh, good kick. What a goal. A beauty. The Blues are in front.
Comes now to Dean. Dean goes long. Kernahan, strong mark overhead. And Carlton have got plenty of space. This will finish with Bradley. No, it won't. Gleeson goes totally across the ground. He had Bradley free, but he goes for the long kick in. Picking the ball up now as a sweeper. He goes the banana kick, a sensational goal.
Very promising player. And so's the man with him now, Wren. McDermott did all right to hold it up in the end. Smart, now Ben Hart. Fit of the fumbles, keeps his eye on it. Pressured by Bradley. Kudafidi smothered by Daryl Hart. Swert run down, a good tackle, McDermott. Oh, play Kudafidi, he's a goal! Well done, young fellow. Well, that'll lift them. D'Ulio and Kudafides. Wren runs into Kernahan, gives away a free kick. He's one of the men I was pointing out's exhausted, Wren, because he's had 3 or 4 big men against him in this first half. He'll need a rest. Kernahan's kick, well played by Bickley. Brown clever. Gleeson to go for goal. Drop punt, puts it through. 10-2, 7-7.
Big punch from behind there from Welsh. At the bottom of the pack, Kudafides comes up with it. Bradley round the corner. Goes to the centre of the ground. Carlton had 3 players that all looked at each other. Nobody went, but through comes Hogg. Hogg centres the ball. It's Kernahan versus Smart. Smart does well. But there he is. The swooper, D'Ulio. What a goal. Ron D'Ulio. He should come back onto his left and go up the middle of the ground. He's got Jarman. Jarman will do something with this, but there's a throw up behind.
It's against Wiedemann. Foolish play by Wiedemann, because the Adelaide Crows were away and running. All he had to do was provide a legitimate shepherd, and the ball was down in Adelaide's forward line.
Hogg kicks the ball long. He's got Walsh. And a fine mark from Walsh. From 45 metres. As Bernie said, he'll make the distance. The ball bends back. It's home. Four goals to Rowan Welsh.
Left foot, D'Ulio over Wren's head. Kernahan, D'Ulio will run with him. Kernahan sweeps it to Spalding, who was injured a moment ago, and Big Earl goes bang and puts it through. His second goal, and the Blues have charged away now, and they lead by 16-12 to 11-14. Just under 2 minutes remaining.
Well, the Crows have got Essendon, Sydney and Footscray in the next 3 weeks, so they're still not out of it. In the race to the finals. Hannah drives the ball long. Big punch from behind from Tasker, and he delivers one behind play. D'Ulio, the sweeper, goes in and gives them the death knell. That's the end of the game.
But we were very pleased to get them here, and it was a tough game. We didn't play all that well early, but then in the second half I thought played with and the better thing was that a number of our young players were starting to come through. The D'Ulios again. Welsh was another one who played particularly well on that day, I remember, and we weren't relying just on the key senior players who were contributing well, but these kids were really adding a new dimension of skill and enthusiasm and offensive, I guess, in nature. They still haven't been convinced of my defensive nature. So it was, I think, a very sound win, and to bounce back again after a demoralising loss. That's twice we've been bowled over badly, and the team had rebounded quite significantly the following week. And from a coaching point of view, it gives you great confidence when you think that these guys are professional enough and have enough personal inner pride to turn a loss like that into a bona fide commitment and approach in the following week. And we did get that against Adelaide, and whilst it wasn't a great game of footy, it was a good methodical performance, and one that should have left us in much better shape for the coming week than the following week showed to be.
Comes out the shoal, breaking from the centre towards centre half forward. Bradley in front. An easy chest mark. Quickly over to Kernahan in the pocket unattended. Gale just can't get there. Carlton, the first goal. And Rowan Welsh has put the score on the board for Carlton.
All he could do was to knock it away to Williams. It took 10 minutes to get his first possession, Greg Williams. What a hand pass that is to Spalding. He goes bang and kicks it.
He's got Kernahan being tagged by Caven. Undecided as to what to do. That's the only thing he can do. Go high. Welsh, Caven down. Welsh over the back. What a mark. He had the sit. Lax marking by the Fitzroy defenders.
They had their mind set on Kernahan particularly and Spalding, who had the front posse.
Now the former VFA Dandenong player lines up. Ball on its way. Is it Carlton's third? It is. Very scrappy game. Players hunting in packs. Changes direction. That's good play. That's Dean running down. Can he kick a goal? No, he hand passes. Bradley on the left foot. What's he done? Carlton spin. Craig Bradley set up by Peter Dean.
How'd you like to be a forward trying to get a kick in here? They've really stacked the back line, Fitzroy. Gale tries to break free. It's going to be a Carlton free kick off the ball to Greg Williams against Broderick.
Correct, Drew.
Well, it was the best chance of a forward getting a free kick. The ball was nowhere near them. Williams. His 10th disposal. Beautiful penetration. Great mark by Welsh. And his marking very early on in his league career has been fantastic. He's kicked 2. That's 3.
Gleeson looking from the lead for Welsh. Puts it up high. Pack fly down the ground. Nobody can really get the ball out as Kernahan comes in. Shrugs one tackle. Williams on the left foot. Goes goalward. Carlton's 10. Greg Williams, the kicker.
Broderick's kick marked by Sexton. Centre halfback. He goes to Kernahan. Starting to come into it now. That tall mark was just his 3rd for the day. Centre half forward, Spalding didn't get first touch. Flicks it out to Bradley. Here's a goal for the Blues. And they're back in front.
Playing the centre half forward, Spalding. Fitzroy would be well advised just to put it over the boundary line, but they haven't. They made a mistake. And DiIulio, no, it's Welsh. Kick Carlton's 12th.
Sexton's hand pass on the bounce to Williams. The Blues on fire at the moment. Spalding! Oh, almost Dorotage. Hogg the hand pass in. Welsh unselfishly. Fantastic hand pass to Gleeson. It's a 21-point lead to Fitzroy. Well, they beat Collingwood here. Can they beat Carlton here as well? That's a couple of decent scalps. Sexton. Oh, Kernahan, an excellent mark.
Bradley's free. Gale's way off him. Kernahan hasn't seen him.
And not too happy with his skipper for not having a look either. Hands on hips, Craig Bradley. But Stephen Kernahan looking for his first goal. Raking kick, full points. The Blues not out of it yet. Kernahan palms to Aitken. Baldwin. DiIulio through the legs of Spalding. Carlton going forward, that's all. They couldn't get a handle on the ball. It's a free kick.
Going to Hogg, pushing the back there.
Matthew Hogg right in front. The man on the mark's about 35 metres from goal. Full points will be too late for the Blues. Good kick by the defender.
A lot of people thought this was one game that did cost us dearly, and I think that'll be taking a bit away from Fitzroy. At this stage were very competitive, I think roundabout, if not in the six. And they really ran at us very hard, had a good game plan which was difficult for us to cover with ruse. We tried, in fact we outsmarted ourselves. I remember Ian Aiken was given the job and did a terrific job running up and down the ground with ruse, and we left somebody else to play at centre half forward, and many other sides were doing similar sorts of things to try and combat a very competitive Fitzroy combination. And whilst I was terribly disappointed with the result, a lot of people here thought it was a game we shouldn't have lost. We did never deserve to win it at any stage. And the loss to Fitzroy, were comprehensively beaten, as I suggested before, interfered with a lot of people's approach to the next one. There was no way known, despite we were playing Richmond, and Richmond were well down, and their win-loss record was very ordinary. A lot of players personally were not at this stage playing with great authority, and it took us about half the game against Richmond to get our act together. We worked really hard, and so did Richmond too, and we played fairly ordinary footy up until half-time. After half-time, we absolutely dominated that game. You know, possession-wise, we started to do all the things that we hadn't been doing for a couple of weeks and started to play very close to our best, except we just could not kick the ball through the goal. And I can remember, I think, 1-9 being scored between Welsh and Dorotich. And if you're going to give somebody in this club the ball to kick us a goal when it was most needed, it would have to be an absolute toss-up between those two. Welsh is just a great kick of the ball, and his performances before and after that would suggest that. And Dorotich is absolutely dead-eye. And I think Doro kicked 4 behinds from very relatively easy scoring shots, and Welsh kicked 1-5 or 1-4 on that particular day. I think it was 1-5. So we certainly got our position to win it, and was just one of those days where the errors round the goal face absolutely killed us, because it's a game, and it's not taking anything away from Richmond at all. It was a game that the better side lost. It's the only game I can say that for the year that Carlton were in that we lost, that we should have won, and the finish it cost us a place in the six, although we didn't appreciate that at the time. But I think I certainly made the comment that that was a costly one. That is the second of the 2 games I mentioned earlier. The Swans game early in the season should never have been lost, and quite frankly, it was a game that we threw away against Richmond for our inability to convert our opportunities, which were an immense number of opportunities, but we just couldn't get the ball through the goal. Against Brisbane Bears a week later, we have our best or our highest winning margin because we efficiently put the ball through the goals. Each time we took it into the 50 metre and got into a reasonable scoring position on the ground, we did the job. And if you do that, there's enormous confidence that comes from having your work rewarded, and of course the scoreboard shows the end result. So what Brisbane copped from us that day was an extension of what happened in the second half, but also a very, very efficient conversion rate up forward.
Back in the middle once again. O'Sullivan tackled hard. Luke O'Sullivan, a real terrier. Off to Williams. Danger here for Hawthorn. Williams heads for home. It may sit for Gleeson. Off the ground. The young man from Koroit gets his first.
Alvin to Williams. Williams to Kernahan. Langford's there. Always plays very well. On Kernahan. Here's a big chance for the Blues. They've got loose men everywhere. Earl Spalding inside the Gleeson. Gleeson over to the top. Rowan Walsh dodges round Mew. Kicks a goal. Goal to the Blues. Out comes Tony Hall. Oh, he's dropped the sitter. Well, how many times would you see that from Tony Hall? Bad miss. Jinky in front. Walsh at the back. Here's Mew. Oh, he's lost it to O'Sullivan. Luke O'Sullivan sprints in the goal. And from 40 metres, Luke O'Sullivan has goal.
And here youngster, but he sockers it down towards the half-forward line. Langford keeps it in. Could be dangerously so to Deer. May just about lose it here. Could be costly. Kernahan to O'Sullivan. Luke Thank you. Very valuable goal into the breeze. O'Sullivan gets his second. Carlton a 4-5, Hawthorn a 1-6. He got rid of it. Williams like lightning to Kernahan. He'll have to be quick. He is to the half-forward line. Robertson takes a good mark. Young Ben Robertson. Off to Gleeson, outside 50. Adrian Gleeson, lovely kick. Tommy into the open goal. Alvin gets his first. Carlton holding the Hawks, 5-5, plays 2-8. Only percentage beat separating these two sides on the ladder, slightly in favour of Hawthorn.
It's a huge game, isn't it, for both teams?
And I don't think percentage is going to play a great part in today's game. Bradley. Penetrating kick to Kernahan. The Crowies combine. Silvani's on. Kernahan's kick looks good. The Blues in front. Lawrence wins the tap. Williams tries to flick it on. Athorn soccers off the ground to Kernahan. It's effective. Where's Silvani? Well, he's certainly not 100%. To Alvin. Oh, Silvani did well to shepherd out Jarman. Alvin hits for goal. Tommy again. 2 goals to Tom Alvin. And the Blues answer. 7-6, plays 4-9. His hand pass is not good for Williams, but he shrugs the Gow's tackle. To half-forward, Spalding's in front and a mile in front of New. Away goes Earl Spalding. Gets underneath a high kick. Kernahan, Langford. Neither can take it. Bradley first to it. Will he try and run round and centre? He does. And he centres beautifully. Looking for his first goal for the day. Directly in front, 45 out. Flat punt, but effective. The Blues answer. Hannah brings it back into play. It doesn't travel very far, that kick. It's just over the 50-metre line. Dorotich gets through some heavy traffic to Sexton. Sweeps a long hand pass further forward to Dean. Back again he goes to Williams. Look at that hand pass from Greg Williams. As good as a kick. Back to Dean. He runs through the centre up towards Silvani. Through his arms. Collins over the top. Silvani recovers. Off to Kernahan. Flicks it round his body. 2 of them there. Bradley. This is going to make it tough. Footy kicking. 30 metres out. Stammering approach. Low drop punt on its way. He's got it home. The Blues steady.
Hawthorn were needing wins as much as we were needing wins. We both suffered injury to key personnel that we didn't have access to, but we both would have liked. And the game was played in a very tough, tight, competitive way from the first bounce to the final siren. There was never much in it either way for either side, and they're the sorts of games against, the reigning premiers that you would want the team to not only survive but to win. And to have beaten Hawthorn, the previous year's premiers, twice in the season was starting to give I think the team a lot of confidence with regard to the immediate and the long-term future of the place. So I think that was quite a critical victory at Waverley, where we haven't been all that good, against a side who run very quickly over the ground and might have exposed our Achilles heel. We were able to get them into the kind of match plan that we wanted and control the midfield on that day and convert well enough to be able to beat them. I think David Kernahan did a terrific job also on Dunstall on that day, and he was struggling with a groin that would have finished most guys, but he was able to go out and do the job, which is a great indication of that fellow's capacities and the competitive nature of the man. one of the difficulties coming off a bye, teams have thought there was a disadvantage. In the first round, we went into the bye with a good victory against Hawthorn, and we came out of the bye with equally as good as victory, I thought, against North Melbourne. At the same time, we had the bye this time, coming off the win against Hawthorn, and we really desperately wanted to come out, because I believe the two teams, North and the week after against the Sydney Swans, were going to be our most difficult contest. I said publicly, probably in the next month. I had no doubts about the team's capacity to commit and to do the job against the better known teams. With these teams that neither of which had an opportunity to go on in the season, who were playing, odds to nothing, had nothing to lose, and they're the sort of teams that go out and do unpredictable and play maybe above themselves as a oncer and leave you lamenting 4 points. So whilst it wasn't a great win, we stuck at it pretty well. And I was pleased just to fall in on that day, and we were confirming now. I think Williams was playing very consistent, good football. Justin Madden was back to somewhere near his best, and was going to be a long season for him because of his back, and we hadn't played him early because of suspension. He hadn't got good form early, and young Caberton had, so it took a while for Justin to actually get back in and start to look like the player that we knew he was capable of doing. And this was the start of a very good month or two for Justin, where he dominated the ruck play and started to mark the balls we've always wanted him to, and made an enormous difference to the team.
Come Luffers first there, dropped an easy mark, a chance there for that Sydney player Doolan. Handball went astray over to Bradley, who kicks it back here, down towards the half-forward line. Luke O'Sullivan into an open goal, but it's a shocker. Kernahan comes in, tries to make amends for him as they hurry stab at goal, and that's another one to Carlton.
Here's Hannah, ran straight at the ball. Good play, Mill Hannah, and a 70-metre kick to the half-forward line lands with Welsh. And Welsh is a thumping kick. He'll look for Kernahan, who's one out here with Bays. Bays at the back, Kernahan at the front. As player Doolan went without it, Kernahan brilliantly. Luke O'Sullivan sprints clear into an open goal. O'Sullivan, he slams it through.
I think there's a lot of pressure on Greg Williams, and it will be a test for him.
There's a knock on by Welsh, and they come to meet the football. Now there goes Hogg into an open goal. He fires, and he's kicked a goal for Carlton.
The Blues by 4 points as Tunbridge tried to grab it. Now he boots it off the ground. Fraser Brown is there, and Dorotich. Dorotich first there to the ball, kicks it wide. Higgins back with the flight. Oh, he gets a very bad bounce. He goes in to try and grab it again, but Luke O'Sullivan beats him to it. O'Sullivan looking for a hand pass. He's found Bradley. Back to Luke O'Sullivan. That's great play. Spalding. O'Sullivan again. Terrific play by Carlton. O'Sullivan into an open goal. Great team play by the Blues. Here's Dean. Too tall for Doolan. Alvin. Back to Dean. Good team play. Dean around the corner has found Gleeson. Gleeson forced to play on then. He's found Athorn. Athorn can go over the top. Danger here for the Swans because Rondolilio sprints clear. Kernahan versus Bays. This
Free
might
kick.
bounce through. That's a free kick to Kernahan. I think it went through for a goal anyway.
I think it has been paid a
So
goal.
it will be a goal to Delulio. Yes.
But in the front position was Tunbridge. He couldn't mark the football. Spalding's got it. A handball goes to Athorn. He's 50 metres out. Drives into the teeth of goal looking for a fly, and he's got one. Kernahan.
Great mark.
And a chance of bringing up another one for the Carlton side, who are doing pretty well. At the moment, Carlton, they're 6-7 to 5-1. He fires, and he has put it through for full points to Carlton. Scoreboard. 5-1-31 Sydney to Carlton, 7-7-49.
He beats all players to the ball. Grabbed by Athorn around the corner. In towards Kernahan. Great mark. Steve Kernahan, the captain of Carlton, kicks, and I think it's floated in. It has for a goal.
Umpire putting the ball back into play here and doing the ruck work. Kernahan front position, but Peter Dean comes in, brings it down with him, recovers, he fires a goal. It's a beauty. A sensational solo effort by Peter Dean.
Under the 10-minute mark to go, Carlton have to get something going. The Swans tearing into the packs with ferocity. There's the big fly over the back, but Gleeson read it beautifully. Off he goes. They've got the running players. Bradley coming past. Gleeson still going. Peter Dean leads. Oh, it's kicked towards Kernahan. Dorotich on the left foot. Around the corner, John Dorotich, a magnificent snap at goal. The big centre, back comes centre half forward, has lifted Carlton with a ripper, 11-9 to 16-6. Breaks the tackle. Cleverly done by Dean. Dropped by Hogg. But good play to kick it off the ground. Brunton with the left hand. Now Gleeson. Brunton trying to use the body. Fraser Brown. Dorotic on the left foot. John Dorotic has slammed it through for a goal.
Only 1 point separate both sides here. Sydney, can they come back? They had a bad third quarter, and they certainly do need a goal right now. Centre circle on the bounce, and it favours Justin Madden again. He wins it easily. Down to Bradley, and there go the Blues. Up to the half-forward line, and Dorotic couldn't smother, but he got a handball to Peter Dean. Into an open goal, and it's another one to Carlton. 2 goals within 2 minutes for the Blues in the last quarter.
Carlton, hook it out. Here's Gleeson. In towards half forward. Nettleberg versus Dorotic. No mark. Dorotic going on with the play. Luke O'Sullivan. Can he trap it? Yes! O'Sullivan sprints, bounces. And I think he's goal. Yes! Luke O'Sullivan has kicked 3. 2 points the margin. Sydney lead. And Carlton get out of jail then. The kick to centre wing. John Dorotic takes a good, strong mark.
A classic handball from Christo. He handballed in mid-flight.
Kelly and Bradley. Well played, Bradley. He's off and running. He can straighten up. He kicks it in towards goal. A great goal, Bradley. Craig Bradley kicks his second. Carlton lead by 4 points. A wild hand pass. Here's Kelly, who's working very hard in this last term. Strong tackling. The ball with Wright. It's thumped away by the Carlton players. Here's Gleeson from 45 metres across the face of goal. Kernahan. He's marked. A captain's mark. A great mark by Kernahan. 2 to beat.
Well, it had to come, Peter, didn't it? Because he's had very little influence on this game in the last quarter.
He may run out here and open up the goals.
It's not difficult to kick these goals.
Here he goes, Kernahan. Kicks and goals. The Blues fight back. Kernahan has kicked 5, and boy, the loss of Bays might be costly.
Out they come to meet the football here now, and it's to Delulio, has it for Welch, I should say. Handballs over this time to Aitken, driving it right down to full forward, looking for Kernahan. Umpire's call play on. Play on is the call here. Now the umpire watches closely. Oh, that player got a whack in the mouth there.
Now that was Justice's out on the full because that was a free kick to Stephen Kernahan.
I thought it was nearly a mark.
He was dragged round the neck. Could have paid either, but Peter Cameron kept his whistle out of the mouth.
Well, so it's over the boundary line on the Fuller free kick going to Aythorne. Have a look at that angle. He may have a direct shot, Peter. There's a bit of space between the posts. He does too. Oh, it's a beautiful looking shot by Aythorne, a magnificent shot, and he's put it straight through the centre 4 points. Now Christo on centre wing. On the outer side, drives it down looking for a high flyer down there, and he almost had Welsh, but Gleeson goes in, gives a handball over this time to Bradley. Bradley hooks it over his shoulder towards the high flyer, Kernahan. And that's just about it, I reckon. Kernahan's mark, 25 metres out from goal, directly in front. And we have 3.5 minutes left to play. There's Bradley
the replay once again. I think Craig Bradley's been outstanding in this last quarter. Feeds the ball magnificently for Kernahan, putting it up in the air to his strength. Kernahan doesn't let him down, and now all he has to do is convert.
So Kernahan directly in front of goal, 20 metres out here, and would just about seal it for the Carlton side if he puts this one through. Or just on 3 minutes left in the game to be played. As Kernahan comes in, he lays back on it, but he makes no mistake, and the Blues are on their way.
The Swans game, we didn't play that well, but we started to show that we had some fibre, and we went under a number of times during the day and could have fallen over and got beaten badly, but we stuck to it pretty hard, and we should have won too. We had a far better group of players on the ground than the Swans were able to put on that day. We certainly lost Williams, which was a worry to us, and it was the start of a difficult period with Greg getting him to the post each week and onto the ground and being able to perform. But our strong players, Dorotich was again playing very well at both ends. Sticks was still marking the ball and kicking goals for us. We'd had an input from Luke O'Sullivan, who as a half forward had certainly progressed a bit in this season, was crumbing a goal or two for us. Bradley was working a bit more in the front half at this stage and also scoring goals. So whilst on the scoreboard and most people would have indicated it was a fairly ordinary day for us, I was just absolutely delighted to get away with a win. Most people will remember the game that we started very poorly because we were outsmarted by Ken and Peter on the drawing board, and it did take us probably a quarter, maybe a quarter and a half to get our players positioned well in relation to the talent and the speed which they had in the midfield. And then I thought by half time that we were more than competitive, that the latter part of the second quarter against St Kilda had signs that we were starting to control the game, and particularly in the midfield. Gleeson started to play well, Bradley the same. Brown still doing extremely well on his wing. And by half time, I mean, no one could predict the onslaught which followed in the third quarter, but we were more than competitive before half time. Certainly, people often say what was said at half time. I can assure you on that day we were so intense about getting our team placed and balanced that most of the time in the half-time interval was spent doing that. I don't even spoke to the players. I mean, they're well aware, but I was confident and said so that we were on the right tram. And given that St Kilda didn't make too many unpredictable changes, that we should be able to do the job. But we played quite obviously our best quarter of football, in that we won the ball and used it extremely well and put it through the goal on 11 occasions in one quarter. So the game was really all over by three-quarter time. We stuck out to win that game, and I think help cement the belief that we were, bona fide final six contenders. I think that game more than any other gave us the confidence to say, well, it won't matter too much what people serve up from here on in. We can cope with most what's coming.
Sexton's kick from 2 or 3 metres start was good. Well done, Madden.
Should have been a free kick to Wine. He used the arm to push him out.
He's kick in towards full forwards, dropping in short. Oh, Footscray mess it up. Gleeson's off the ground. Still a chance for the Blues. O'Sullivan, first goal to Carlton. Luke O'Sullivan, ever the opportunist, as Campbell is in the hands of the trainers. Luke O'Sullivan kicks the first goal of the game.
Williams is away for the Blues. Poor kick by Diesel. Socket on by O'Sullivan. Oh! No big pardons here as Wallace steams in over the top. And then his teammate asked
well done, Welsh.
It was a free kick against Wallace.
Danger again for Footscray. Brown, 40 metres, coming back. There's another one.
Liberatore's little tap was good for Stephen Wallace. Away to McPherson. McPherson's kick is high in towards centre half forward. Marking contest. Oh, Hannah. Geez, crumbing beautifully across half back. Mill Hannah. He's going to set this up. He must draw a player towards him. He does. Brown. Back to Hannah. Wide. Hannah is on the wing. Kicks with the left. In towards centre half forward. It's a disciplined kick. Oh, what a great effort, Welsh. Well, it's interesting because a couple of free kicks earlier in this quarter were, I thought, quite obvious, and yet they've let play go on. So anyway, Welsh has got the football 40 metres from goal. His kick is good. It's a goal. Rowan Welsh kicks his first goal. The Blues get their fourth, and again Carlton just creep away. They lead by 17 points. It's all very well, but you've got to get the score on the board, and Footscray are just hanging in there. They're only two goals down.
That's right, 4-9, plays 3-3. Now look at that, that's like a boomerang, that football.
Why I say that, Sandy, Carlton have had 71 kicks to 55, 26 handballs to 23, 25 marks to 19, so statistically they've dominated, but they haven't on the scoreboard.
Well, they may take advantage of that kick, but this was on its way back to Tony Campbell, this ball, and Adrian Gleeson just had to keep chasing. Kicking from inside 40, slightly stammering approach, but straight through the middle.
And coming off, Diulio. Sandy is coming on and O'Sullivan off.
So good to be working with you again. High kick towards the 50-metre line. Reynolds hammers it away straight to Albin. Tommy kicks. Tommy goals. Carlton fans going wild.
A very, very skillful little kick there by Tommy Alvin. I'd classify that for Carlton's 6th goal. Now, Footscray have had a lot of trouble getting it away from the centre. Williams, handball over the top. Julio, who's pretty quick, kicking towards full forward. And Kernahan's marked. Kernahan with the breeze right at his back. Stephen Kernahan hasn't kicked all that well so far, but he has this time.
Then tries to find a bit of space. Hawkins over the top to Wallace. He's under pressure. That's what Carlton's doing though, forcing them into error. Back towards Kernahan. At the back is Spaulding. It's a free kick to Kernahan.
Being held.
And he's kicked 74 so far this year, one today. They'll raise the roof if he boots this. There goes the roof. Packed house at Princes Park. Madden couldn't take it. Hawkins does. Liberatore tries to sneak out the back door and he's got him. Lock, stock and barrel.
This is where Footscray are falling down because they've been particularly good around the on ball. When Wines got hold of it, he can control it. Liberatore, Atkins, but that's where they're being nullified by Carlton. Carlton have got the ascendancy.
Aythorne's kick has been a push, just another shove out. Steve Kernahan will just casually amble back and have another shot.
Become Kernahan conscious now.
Kernahan looking for his 3rd goal. But more importantly, stretching the margin. Which he does. The Blues running hot here at Princes Park. Terry Wheeler yesterday said, I expect the Dogs to be premiers. Well, they're in the box seat. 67 plays 21.
This time the free kick is being awarded to Scott Wine. Handball away, not bad. Sexton under a little bit of pressure, forced to kick with the left foot. Dean Marks plays on now in short. Welsh has the mark, has everything. And Welsh has been fantastic. His first quarter was quite superb. Had 8 kicks and 5 marks, but this is an important kick. And he kicks a goal by the look of it. It is. So with just seconds left in the first half, Welsh kicks his 2nd goal and the Blues kick their 10th.
Williams has it. Amazing scenes here at Princes Park. Williams has sent Carlton into attack after an all-in brawl at the other end of the ground. The umpire said, forget it, we're going to bounce it. They gave the free kick to Madden. Carlton now in with a chance to reply. They've got it on the outer wing. Julio's clear. Heads up towards Kernahan. Through their skipper, Steve Kernahan. He's kicked 3 so far. Ah, there's your steady up. Now he's booted 4. That's a captain's goal. Craig Bradley has been very, very quiet by his standards today. That's his 4th kick. And Mark Aythorne is going to have a shot for his first goal.
Scott Wine misjudged that badly, didn't he? Don, for a much-travelled player, this is his 4th AFL club. He does a good job, doesn't he?
There's nothing wrong with Aythorne. It's just the fact that he didn't want to go to Sydney. He had to do something in Melbourne, travel up there, and that was the problem.
Let's see what he can do from 35 metres out, straight through the middle, and another nail goes in the Footscray coffin. Again, from the middle, Bradley sweeps it wide out in front of Brown. He's quick. He's very quick. And he's gone.
Whoa! Now, the umpire should pay another free kick here. If he is fair income, that ball had gone through. The umpire was pushed, the player Fraser Brown was pushed to the ground.
Welch has got to beat a couple. Tui read it well, and it sat nicely for him. He's caught in the end. It tackling has been fantastic. Ronnie DiIulio to the Diesel. A little left foot chip is good.
But he just gave the little pass to Kernahan, and Kernahan, who's kicked 4 goals, 5, can really, well, just gloss it over now. Stephen Kernahan's shot for goal is straight through the centre. Barry Stanfield, you'll just have to concentrate maybe a little harder. Here's Williams again. Oh, Carlton will get it out of the centre. The handball there was terrific. Madden to full forward, no mark taken. Ball at the front of the goals. It rebounds. Crediuk took it back towards the Carlton goal. Welsh, kick off the ground. Kernahan's got another one. Oh, I tell you what, his mind down to the feet there was fantastic.
There are a few lessons being learned today. Diesel. Oh, look at that kick. Look at that kick to Kernahan. Well, let's just see if Kernahan can kick another one. Oh, what a kick. What a beauty.
Well, that's his 3rd goal for the quarter, Stephen Kernahan.
Punt kick in towards centre half forward. Good mark. No, not paid. McPherson it was. Now chance for Bradley. Handball into the path of Spalding. Away goes to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan bombs away and bangs it straight through the centre. Ball goes back to the 50-metre line. Williams shrugs the tackle. Then a swift hand pass to Christou from 50 metres. Angelo Christou has docked it.
Footscray had been the best side that we played up until that point, and to do to them as comprehensively as they did to us early in the season was just terrific. We really did play our best football, I think, for 1992 in that particular game, and I don't think we had a losing player. Most contributed according to their ability. The tragedy in that game was that Matthew Hogg lost control of himself, something he'd not ever done before in football, and consequently we lost his services at the tribunal, which was a significant factor in that he had done a particular job for us in most games extremely well, and we were to regret that loss in that particular player's case because we weren't able to cover him from that point on. So whilst the Footscray game provide us with our best footy, it was as comprehensive a win as we had against anybody who was supposedly bona fides. It cost the club in terms of a player or two.
Comes Kernahan. Pert right behind him. Fires out the hand pass quickly to Madden from a standing start. Madden kicks in towards the goal. And is that a mark or is it a goal? Kicked off the ground by DiIulio. He's got it.
They battle. It comes to Bradley, who measures the kick and misses to the near side. Had plenty of time, Craig Bradley.
Yes, he did attempt to steer that a bit too, Dennis. It was intentional.
Pert kicks very wide, out of bounds on the full.
Maybe that breeze is stronger than I thought because it really has drifted across. It wasn't a good kick off the boot. It got pushed further by that breeze. Very fluky.
DiIulio outside the 50. Kernahan comes on the lead. It bends back. That's a great kick. It's a goal. He's got 2, and Carlton lead 2-1 to a behind.
Marking contest and Madden.
It's his 3rd mark, Pete.
He's starting well. Madden kicks into the goal square. The 2 number 4s do battle again. Kernahan and Pert. Neither takes the mark. This will be another goal. O'Sullivan.
Just over 8 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Kitafides over the top, hooking it behind. This is O'Sullivan running towards the centre of the ground. He pulls it back towards centre half forward. Spalding under the ball. Who's got the pace? Bradley leads in the race. Inside the attacking 50. Still he goes. Should have gone the hand pass. Didn't. Pulls it back for a more central situation. Pert got a fist on it. It falls Carlton's way though. Red surely was Alvin. He'll get a free kick. Tom Alvin. The ball will come back. That hair is getting longer. Alvin kicks and kicks truly. He's kicked one goal, Tom Alvin. Now from half back, boots towards half forward. Kernahan, gutsy attempt to mark. Carlton have the ball at their half forward line, and they've got the numbers to Ulio. If he can get clear, this should be a goal. He gets it over the top to Reece Jones. 15 metres out, he's kicked it. Or has he? Yes. 5-7 to 6-11.
A capacity crowd. Hawthorn Collingwood hold the record, but of course with health department regulations that can't be broken, so I don't think even for last year's grand final there would have been too many more people than we have today. Madden to O'Sullivan. Kernahan, oh, good mark over Gary Purdy. Will try to play on straight away. Inside 50 now with the kick. Just about gets leg. A second shot.
Well done.
Yes, bent it back for a goal. And Kernahan full points. So Steve Kernahan, tricky kick virtually against this breeze, which is a cross one from the north. Oh, gee, uncontested. Dean.
Well, I'll tell you what, Peter Dean, when he ran down there, just looked as if he was going to try and do something purposeful, and he really gave a few leads, but then the only player to read the ball, holding up in the breeze. Better judgment there by the backman. Look at that. Moncourse, Gayfer miles behind, who's Dean's immediate opponent.
Nothing more sapping for a team than that sort of goal.
Assuming he kicks it. Which he does. And a couple of Carlton defenders have got goals. Dean there, and earlier, of course, Tom Eldon in the first quarter.
Left half back. High kick towards the wing. Moncourse favoured by the kick, misjudged it though, and Madden did very well in front.
He had the sit, but then just lost all idea of what to do.
So Madden from the wing kicks towards centre half forward. Dorotich on the lead. Great mark. He's played pretty well today too. Firstly at fullback, now on the forward line. Looks for D'Ulio. Well spotted. And a good kick. A kick from about 45. On its way. It's close. It's good.
Pert goes to the outer side, marginally. Oh, great mark, Kernahan. Only his fourth mark for the day, though, just the same. Dorotich making the lead.
And that's that goal-to-goal line marking strength they displayed last week, and which I thought might be the telling factor today. But the wind's made it very difficult with those fluky conditions. But Kernahan's great grab earlier to set up this kick to Dorotich, and he had his name written all over that.
A chance to bring up a goal for Carlton. Distance won't be a problem. 25 metres out. About 45 to 50 degree angle. Steers it through for full points. A point the difference at Waverley. Started with three behinds, then kicked a beautiful goal. Here's a steal. Fraser Brown. Brown from half forward. Dean. Strong grab over Gayfer. He kicked a goal with a good mark at the other end in the previous quarter. And Dean, again, having a chance to score for the Blues and put them in front.
And you can't believe the persistence of the players to keep going to that outer side of the ground. McMullen there just went the wrong way completely. Could have straightened up and gone straight down the centre of the ground. Then the ball's turned over and you got a shot at goal.
Important part of the game. One sense is that Carlton getting back on top as they were in the first quarter. Dean for his second and gets it. Just before three-quarter time, only 17 seconds now remaining, so maybe the Magpies can hold the Blues out until three-quarter time. They should be able to do it from there. Russell forced a punch from behind. Fraser Brown looks for Ratton, too far for him. The gather is from Bradley. 2 seconds remaining. There's got to be a mark. Is there going to be time? McCartney might be a free.
Free kick, yes.
Yes. So Carlton could lead by 7 points at three-quarter time. Collingwood got a goal on the quarter-time siren from a kick by Tony Shaw. And John Dorotich should be able to make Carlton pay the ultimate price with this kick. A foolish free. No doubts about it, Ross.
Oh, definitely the free kick there. The only thing you got to realise is whether that siren had gone. The umpire's out there. It's very difficult to tell from up here, Pete, but the free kick was definitely there, no question.
Dorotich, who started in defence, has kicked one goal so far. And probably wrapped up market today as well. 25 metres out, directly in front. He's got the goal. Anthony Koutoufides from the centre half-back position out to Brown. Brown at right half-back, defensive side of the ground. Milhana close to the back. He'll go for a run. Fraser in hot pursuit, won't catch him. Alvin with a little bit of a nudge. Dorotic has been consistent today. Bradley gives it back to him. Dummies well. Gleeson should go from there. 25 metres out directly in front and has put it through for 4 points. Adrian Gleeson's first score of the day as a goal. 12-12 to 11-11. Again, the difference is 7 points to Carlton.
McEwen's free in the goal square if he turns around.
Well, he shouldn't have turned his back on the play, I guess, but Hannah has gone back to pick him up. And a player loose down there is Peter Dacos. He's been pretty quiet today. He's only had 9 possessions. One of them was a miraculous goal at this end. He gave McEwen another one at the other end. Of course, he got out of a sick bed on Thursday to take his place in the side. And of course, the plus is that he's taken Silvani out of the game, needing a good man to mark him from right on 50. The Pies are home.
I think that was our saddest performance because we knew we needed to win one of the last 2 to take our place, and was in our own hands still, as it had been most of the year. We only had to continue to do the job and not rely on other people. And to be quite truthful, I was very, very confident against Collingwood. I thought that we had the manpower and the game plan which would have allowed us to control them. And I have great admiration for Lee and for Collingwood because they seem to be doing it, I thought, with lesser resources than we had. And that wasn't being arrogant about it at all. They had one enormous number of close games and kicking very few goals. So you've got to have something special in terms of team, comradeship, mateship and that sort of thing going, which obviously they won a flag a couple of years ago together. They've got something quite special, which we haven't been able to quite capture here yet, but we will. But in the finish, the difference was simply that we made 11 or 12 unforced errors. They were errors when we were taking possession of the ball, and when we had possession of the ball, we actually put it down the ground against something that the team had not done in hardly any other game during the year. We managed to produce a bucketful of unforced errors in the one game, and in the finish simply we were unable to cover those. They exploited those errors. We gave them a chance to score, and goals that we were sort of been getting they were getting, and so they became 2-goal mistakes. We didn't get the one and then they get the one as a result of the turnover. And quite frankly, I was very, very sad and terribly disappointed that a team that had shown its capacity under pressure to handle and do the right thing, make the right decision and finish it off, quite frankly succumbed. And it was a pressure thing on the day, but at the time when the game had to be won, we buckled quite badly. And I thought that was the key. I thought our season might have ended at Waverley on that particular day because it was always going to be difficult to take the West Coast in Perth in the final round.
Pretty good duel, that one so far. Honours at the moment to Langdon. Dorotic from the true centre half-back position goes out wide. Mainwaring underneath it. Great mark. Taken by is it Welsh?
Dean.
The Dean. Running onto it, Bradley. Well, there was a little Gaelic football past that one. When he come to the advantage of the side, he'll have a shot for goal himself. Snapshot isn't bad. Craig Bradley has got just touched on the line. So still Carlton can't break the ice with good individual effort, Tim.
Yes, it was a good individual effort and a great effort by Djakovic to touch that one, but I wouldn't mind seeing that one in slow-mo replay just to see whether or not that ball was actually over the line.
I'm with you, Tim.
I'm sure that was over the line.
So am I.
Oh, yes. Gee.
No question. Well, Fraser Brown had a problem there. No one to kick to down the ground. 3 Eagles back in the square. Evans towards the wing. Aythorne runs to the 50. Probing kick and a good one too. It's bending back. That's a goal. They needed that one. That's an understatement. There first from Mark Aythorne.
Waterman's just come on for the Eagles. Not quite sure who went off. Try to pick him up shortly. This is Fraser Brown.
There's McKenna's off the ground. Kernahan, terrific mark. Terrific mark. 8-3 to 1-7. Ratton swings it out wide, looking to accommodate the lead from Dorotic. Dorotic working hard in this term. Forward of the wing, kicks inside the 50. Kernahan has got away. Up he goes, and that's a good mark. Steve Kernahan. Only Dunstall and Lowe have taken more marks this season than this man. He kicks from 40. It's a captain's goal. De Julio, can he control it? Well, he's in trouble. Dragged down by Kemp. Pike battles with Bradley. Bradley almost pushed in the back. Ratton gave it away very quickly. Aythorne goes off the ground. Well done by Gleeson. Back to the run of Aythorne. He kicks long down towards full forward. Silvani goes back. As he marked it, I think he has. Terrific mark.
That was a great bit of running then. The Carlton players teaming up and Aythorne continuing on. He's a very hard worker, Aythorne. He's had an interesting duel so far with Lamb. Both of them normally play on opposition best midfielders. And with the matchups today, they've ended up playing on each other.
He runs around from the sharp angle, pulls it back. It's a goal. Here's Pike. Inside the centre square. Pike sends it towards half forward and Heady. Oh, great mark by Dean. It was almost on the chest of Heady.
On the outer side of the ground, centre wing, the applause for Brett Heady as he goes to the bunker. He ran off, so it didn't appear to be any injury problem. It's good news for the Eagles. Bradley can't take possession. O'Sullivan started quietly, starting to come into it now as he did late in the second quarter. That's a good mark to Dorotic. Kick number 7 for John Dorotic. He's had a pretty consistent year, arguably his most consistent since he's been at Carlton. Goal umpire hasn't moved. He's kicked it straight over his head for a goal. He's at left centre wing. 6 minutes and a bit left in the third term. Madden's kick dropping short. Kernahan in front, has it punched away. De Julio gives the hand pass. Bradley on the end of it. Centering kick from the former South Australian. Looks for Dorotic, who's also been lively. Good hand pass. O'Sullivan. Alvin should be able to score from there. And Alvin from point blank range puts it through. So it gives Carlton supporters something to cheer about. 6-13 plays 13-7. Koutoufides again to Christo. Hand pass over the top. Kemp picks up the loose ball after it's spilled free. Matera, it's for the free kick grab when he didn't have it. The umpire says play on. Ratton will do that. Gives it to Bradley. Hannah. He's got O'Sullivan running with him if he needs him. Doesn't need him. Go all the way, Mill, says Luke O'Sullivan. And he does. A long bomb. Looks pretty good. And Carlton have got another one. We have a throw in. The Eagles have the numbers. Dwayne Lamb. Slung as he kicked it, help him get the ball to Harding. Matera ridden into the turf. Dean, resolute in defence, turns it into attack. Silvani at the back of the pack. If it bounces kindly for him, it does. Here's a goal to the Blues just before three-quarter time, and that's just what they wanted. He's happy, and so Steve Silvani puts through his second goal. 8-13, 61 to 14-8, 92. And they're hanging in there, the Blues, and that was magnificent play then by Tommy Alvin.
So the margin 31 points, and coming in around 24, Carlton was the best come-from-behind team in the AFL. They've trailed at half-time in 10 matches this season and won 5 of them, and they're not gone quite yet. Christo to Bradley with the clock inside the last minute of the third term. Brown, well played, long kick. It looks good from Ratton. It's a goal. Here come the Blues. 9-13 to 14-8.
Two Carlton players kick it off the ground. Lewis punches it back whence it came. Carlton, well, they're just going to have to find something now. Koutoufides. Pike runs hard at the ball. Silvani comes out with it. Silvani from half forward. Can they get the quick reply? Bradley, 25 metres out directly in front, should score a goal, and he has done. So Carlton back to square one. The difference is what it was at three-quarter time, 15-8 to 10-13. Oh, courageous grab by David Rhys-Jones. Gets it back to Hannah. Hannah now from half-back. Around Turley. And away he goes. He's pretty quick, Mill Hannah. Not many will catch him. And Hannah's kicked straight down the ground. The only way for Carlton to go. Bradley. After Alvin missed the mark, that will bounce through. Well, yes, for a goal. Well, only 8 minutes left. It's his second, and Carlton's 11th. 11-14 to 17-9.
The pencils start to come out, and the thinking caps go on as Waters goes in short, intended for Waterman. Ratton gives it across to support. This is Brown towards half forward. Kernahan again on his chest. So Carlton will miss out on percentage. Kernahan, long. It's a goal. Great kick.
Twofold thing is not getting a good start ourselves. We went forward, I think, 4 times before West Coast really even looked like getting to the goal face, and we mucked each of those ones up. We either didn't put it through the goal or we gave it back or whatever. And then to have them, as they so often do, and we talk about our third quarter here as being decisive, well, their first quarter has often been their key to their winning performances. And we can say we won the next 3. I think we probably did. We won the next 3 quarters. But you're never going to beat West Coast with a 7-goal deficit at quarter time. It made it very tough. When we fought tenaciously to get back in the game, we played good footy for a portion of the third quarter when we got a bit of run and we flicked it round a bit and started to do what we were capable of. For the rest of the game, I think we just struggled. And it was just sad that we had to go to Perth knowing that game had to be won. Their incentives were almost equal to ours. I mean, certainly I think you got a bit more of an incentive if you're going to make the 6th than not make it, or change your position in the 6th. But they had a lot to play for, and were playing pretty good football. They certainly covered us, and the loss of Williams before the game, and Bradley had just a reasonable day on that particular day. Kernahan was fairly well held, so you're dependent very much, and it puts a lot on them. I have high expectations of our best players, and I think that's probably unfair, but we do. Our better players didn't play as well as we would have hoped, and I think that the chance of winning was dependent upon that. I think 1992 saw a significant improvement in playing personnel. We alluded to that earlier by saying we recruited some experienced players and did that well. The ones we picked up did particular jobs. The Athorns were very, very consistent, did jobs, and Hogg was another one. Spalding turned out to be an absolute plus at centre-half forward. Williams, in the games that he played, was a very significant factor. So we're able to do that. We've developed and given the opportunity for 7 or 8 players as youngsters, the Scholes who ended up getting injured and the Delulios, the Welshes. Michael Sexton took a big step forward this year, has become a very consistent player for us. There are a number like Sexton, Hannah and Brown who are current players who did take enormous steps because of the confidence they gained from being played consistently and being given good jobs and big jobs to do. I guess playing personnel, I mean, what I call bona fide footballers, there are more bona fide footballers at Carlton now than there were 12 months ago and certainly 2 years ago, and we've got to get more of those. But in the context of a plan that was implemented at the end of the 1980 season, where we spent a year determining who could and who wanted to, we needed to consolidate the team, and the big plus is that we've been able to get a team in. It's a bit like the Australian cricket team. I think it was important that we didn't decimate the team every week by making a huge number of changes. We decreased the number of changes, and most were forced by injury or suspension, and we tried where possible to get the team together so they could start to commit emotionally to each other and achieve things together as a group rather than decimating the team every week as we did in 1991, and I think that was one of the major steps forward, and I hope that we can cement them. I hope we hang on to them all and develop the ones that we've got now, because I think we have the nucleus of something quite special here that will do the job in the way that Carlton supporters would like them to. We've got to scour the list as we did last year, because in November you can do something about the manipulation of players, not so in March or June. You've just got to go for the best available, but there is a possibility in the system to get people in one, and it's quite obvious a lot of other teams will be looking for the same. But we must get faster. We must play players with leg speed, and we've got to recruit in that domain. We must get better smaller players too that are quicker and can crumb, that is all over the ground, crumb well, can hit the packs and take the ball with them and have the leg speed to run away. And we certainly must get viable, smaller flanker pocket forwards to complement our great marking strength with the Spaldings, the Kernahans, the Welshes. Those sorts of players have been playing very well and consistently in the big man department. We just have to get better in the other area. We just can't squander the forward opportunities that we have as we have in this season if we're going to be really competitive. So our recruiting, well, you can't be exclusive and specific as that. Sometimes we have to be as exclusive and specific as we can be in the current climate. We're in a position now where the team has to do something now because our better players are in our ageing population, getting it towards the 27, 28, 29 when they'll be playing or coming out of their best possible performing experience age group sort of factor. So what we hope was a 3 or 4 year plan. It's got to happen pretty well much now. We must make the 5. So we must make the 6 in '93. I mean, we've consolidated and got our act together, we think, and we've got the players on. We're roundabout, we're close to now, and could have been there. 14 wins probably in most other seasons would have got us a place at least in the final 6. Then we've got to repeat the dose and take it one step further. Carlton must, at this stage, with our personnel, be very, very competitive in 1993, which in my opinion means making the 6. Because by the time these other players have come through and we're waiting for them to develop, they've just got to develop quickly. Our better players, who are our prime movers, and the reasons that you do get there and you do win, your young players will take you to the point where you can, but the ones that take you over the line are your better players, and our better players are getting into that age group. So it needs to happen, I think, for Carlton in '93 and '94. And after that it might happen through a different bunch of players, but if it's the current bunch that are going to do something, it's got to be done fairly quickly. And our major objective now is to get it right, work extremely hard in the off-season, both in recruiting and the development of our current players, to make sure that we do make the final 6 in 1993.